Hello again. If you're watching this, you probably seen part 1. And if you haven't seen part 1, go watch part 1. Even though you don't even need to watch part 1 to understand what's going on in this video at all, because this is a completely different story. Go watch part 1 because it's just a banger. It's more funny in my opinion, and there's more stuff that happens. This story's not that interesting. I just kind of went to work high, but there is some stuff that happened. So, you know what? Let's just get right into this. So we're going to start from the very, very beginning. Me and my friend F hanging out on a Friday night. We were hanging out. We usually hang out Friday nights. And I'm sorry. What am I saying? No, not Friday night. I apologize. Sunday night. I forgot. I do not work weekends. I work on Monday. So it was Sunday night. Me and F were hanging out. Now, you know F from the First Time Smoking story. You know him from there, so I don't need to explain who this character is. Me and this guy have been friends for a while, and so me and him like to get geeked together. We like to get faded together. We like to get cooked. You know, whatever you like to fucking call it. We like to get baked. Whatever you like to call it. We like to get obliterated. So me and him been chiefing the yards for a long time. We've been smoking yards for a long time, right? And so yards don't really get us insanely geeked unless we really chief them, but you don't want to chief a yard because it's $40 for one yard, and if you chief half that in a night, that's $20 gone, just like that, you know? So you gotta ration it out a little bit. But anyways, we were trying to get fucking cooked, so we decided to get some THC oil. You know, that oil you see on Instagram that they put on, like, fucking Raising Cane's or whatever the fuck, like McDonald's, you know, straight shit, like drive-through food, but they put, like, Zaza oil on it. That's what I call it, the Zaza oil. But anyways, so we had the THC oil, and me and him are both like, all right, how much we want to take? And so I'm like, yo, I'm not no fucking pussy. Like, I'm taking the whole damn, I'll drink the whole fucking bottle. You think I'm a bitch? Like, nah, I can handle the Zaza. I've been smoking Zaza for a long time. So I'm like, yo, I can handle that shit. So I'm like, yo, sauce that bottle here. So this bottle, I wonder if I could put a picture of it. I'm probably not going to throw a picture of it because I'm too fucking lazy in editing. But anyways, it's just like a syringe. It's just a syringe that goes into the top. Not a needle, but a syringe. It goes into the top, and then you flip it over, and the syringe gets full of oil so that you can measure it out, right? Because normally you would, you know, measure it out to put it in like a batch of brownies or maybe some cookies or something. No, we were just doing this shit straight. So there is a little line in the, what's it called? What's that? The syringe. There's a little line inside the syringe that stops it at a certain point. And that certain point is like maybe a quarter of the holy shit, I can't speak. Maybe a quarter of the syringe. Like, if that. Probably less than that. But if you pull hard enough, you can go past that little ring in there, and you can get a full syringe full. So I'm like, all right, you know what? I'll just take 3 full syringes full. And he's like, all right, I'm only going to take 1 because I'm a lightweight. I was like, okay. So he takes 1, and I take 2. Right? And then I forgot about the 3rd. And so I'm sitting there and I'm ripping the yard. You know, I'm trying to get geeked. I'm trying to get faded before I go to work tomorrow, right? And so about an hour goes by, and usually it takes about an hour for edibles to hit. And I'm feeling them like I'm feeling more high than I was before, but I thought that it was just the carts. I thought that it wasn't the weed. Well, I thought that shit. I low-key kind of forgot about it. I'm also stuttering like a motherfucker. Anyways, so I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's bust back out that bottle. So we oh my gosh, I just stuttered my life away. All right, scratch that. So I grab the bottle, right? And I fill that bitch up 2 more times, and I put 2 more syringes full inside my mouth. So that's 4 total so far. And then I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. What's 1 more? So I put 1 more, and that's 5 total. So I took 5 full syringes full, and that was probably about half the bottle. Not gonna lie, it was a small-ass bottle. That was probably about half the bottle. Meanwhile, we were also gonna bake brownies with the rest of that oil the next day. And so we decided to save what we had. Otherwise, I probably would have drank the whole fucking thing. Anyways, I'm chilling for the rest of the night, and I'm like, yo, F, I'm gonna go to bed because I got work tomorrow. I'm sorry, gang. Like, I gotta kick you out. So he's like, yeah, no worries, whatever. I'll go home. And I'm like, all right, perfect. So he heads out, and I'm faded. Not that faded. I'm like a 7 out of 10, if that. Which you probably think 7 out of 10, that's pretty faded. But That's like my normal faded is like 5 out of 10. I was a little bit more than normal faded. I was like feeling it a little bit. So I knew that the eddies were starting to kick in. And so I was like, perfect. I'm about to get insane sleep and then I'll be good for work tomorrow, right? So I go to bed. I hit the hay. I've never said that in my life. I don't know what possessed me to say that. So I went to fucking bed. I hit that shit. And I'm slumped out all night. I got woken up by my alarm. And I'm like, whew, all right, time to start the day, right? So I'm like opening my eyes and I'm watching Instagram and nothing feels off yet. I just feel like morning grogginess, right? Just morning. You know how you feel in the morning. You feel a little bit slower than you do at night. You feel a little bit groggy. You know, that's the word I'm looking for, groggy. I was feeling groggy as fuck, right? I was just feeling groggy as fuck. That's the best word I can use. So I decided, all right, let's get ready for work. So I put on my jeans, I put on my other shit, and I'm getting ready for work, right? And I go to the bathroom, and I'm like, usually I just walk right past the mirror, take a piss, come back into my room, finish putting on whatever I need to for work, and then take off out the door. But this time, I decided to take a second and look in the mirror. And I look at myself in the mirror, and my eyes are beyond red. I really wish I took a photo because then I could throw it up because they were genuinely red as fuck. I didn't take a photo probably because it was early in the morning and I was probably way stressed about being high at work. But that's besides the point. I was faded as shit and I thought I was just tired as shit. So I'm like, you know what? I thought that I was tired myself, not geeked, so I can probably convince other people that I'm just tired. So I saw on the special glasses, you know what kind of glasses I'm talking about. If you're a stoner, you know what kind of glasses you wear. You never wear the glasses that you can see your eyes through. You always pick the ones that you can't see through. You can't see me, that's The Rock. That's not The Rock. What the fuck? That's John Cena. Damn. Yo, I'm about to get grilled in the comments. I'm leaving that in too. I don't give a fuck. But anyways, I'm getting really, really sidetracked. So I finally show up to work, and honestly, they didn't even notice that I was faded. But when I was, they had put me in the truck, the grain truck, right? And I'm driving this shit, and I should not have been driving. I'm being so dead ass, and I feel horrible for this, but I should not have been driving. I was missing shifts. I was not stopping in time. I ran into like 4 things. Nothing like important. Nothing important. But like just like shit on the ground that was just left there. I just ran it over. It was nuts. And I did a lot of bullshit, right? I was told to do jobs and then I would forget it a second later and then I would text Boss Man and be like, hey bro, the fuck did you want me to do again? And then he's like, I just fucking told you, dumbass, like go do it. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. And then by the time I was leaving, I was pretty much sober. I pretty much had sobered up throughout the workday. But when I got home, I felt geeked again. And I looked in the mirror, my eyes weren't red. And so I don't know, I think I was just getting a placebo. But then later that night, I did smoke. So, but anyways, work felt like 10 times harder. So anybody who smokes weed and works, yo, shout out to you because I couldn't do that shit. I become a damn couch potato when I'm geeked. So shout out to you. But on that note, this is a good enough story time. This is more than long enough. So you guys have an amazing day. See ya.